Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from Interest.co.nz and welcome to a special housing report brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand. Today we look at figures from Barfoot and Thompson on house sales and house prices. Now we look at Barfoot and Thompson even though it's just one real estate agency group because it's the biggest agency group in Auckland, which is the biggest city, and also it's the first indication we have of sales figures in February. Now what they show is that Barfoot and Thompson managed the sale of 619 properties in February. What does that mean? Well, it's actually up 9.9% from January. Sounds good. Trouble is, it's down 1.1% from February a year ago. However, ASB has calculated that the increase in sales in February from January was, in a seasonally adjusted basis, up 9.7%. So there does seem to be a slight increase in activity going on in Auckland in February from January. Also, the average price is up 1.1% on the month. So something is stirring out there. Barfoot and Thompson says there's been a lot of new properties come onto the market for sale, and that's helped boost things along. Interestingly, Barfoot and Thompson, which also manages rental properties, says that the average weekly rent that is done in February was $402 a week. That's actually down from $416 a week in January, and it's up only 3% from the same period a year ago. So what that says is there isn't huge amounts of rental inflation going on in Auckland, despite an enormous amount of media coverage in the last 3 or 4 weeks that rents were exploding in Auckland. Frankly, they're not. From a year ago, rents are up 3%, which is right in line with wage inflation. So what happens now with the housing market? Obviously, remember, these numbers were to the end of February. So it included that last week of February or so after the earthquake. Obviously, most of these figures are in Auckland, so we don't have a sense of what's happening nationally. And it's pretty clear that there does seem to be some sort of two-speed market at the moment. Demand for properties in central Auckland is relatively firm, and the number of sales that went through and the values that went through for those central Auckland properties. And when I say central Auckland, I'm not talking about CBD, I'm talking about those suburbs, particularly the eastern suburbs and the North Shore suburbs. Anything with a bit of a sea view and close to the centre of town, they're going for reasonable figures. There's a lot of migration coming into Auckland, and also those people on higher incomes have just received a big tax break thanks to the tax cuts last year. And that seems to be boosting demand for those more expensive family homes. But on the fringes of town and out in the suburbs, we're obviously seeing a major struggle. And of course, since the earthquake on February the 22nd, Christchurch, well, we don't know what the figures are there, but obviously it will have been very, very bad. I'm Bernard Hickey. That was a special housing report brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand.